Okay, guys, let's go watch more from that one kid at school who lied all the time. You guys surely had that one kid at school who would do that, right? No, you guys were not the lying kid, were you? I always knew at least like one lying kid at some point, you know, at every point, at every like different school, there was always the one kid that would like constantly lie about everything. Like they would say like the most absurd shit, you know?
I went to high school with a pathological liar that you could just nudge a tiny bit and he'd go off on these long, elaborate and impossible stories. The best one was when he supposedly got chased by a police helicopter through the woods while stashing an 18 pack of beer down his pants. He ended up outrunning the helicopter, and because of it, the police said over the loudspeaker on the helicopter, "You're cool."
Yeah. 100% real.
Back in 2021, when my videos sounded more like this, we examined tall tales from those kids at school that lied all the time, but we never asked Reddit if they had any similar such fibbing old friends. 8th grade, this kid named Jeremy told a bunch of us him and his dad drove to Area 51 in the middle of the night, took apart a stealth fighter with just a screwdriver and put it in his dad's truck, went home and put the whole thing back together in his attic. Kid in like 5th grade said his muscles were too big, so he had to get a shot to make them smaller. I got jumped by a Brazilian gang because my brother owed him drug money. This to explain a scab on his knee.
Bruh.
That she had a pet dolphin and her best friend, Miley Cyrus, would come over to play with it. That he was a Major League Baseball player. Also, the Prince of Russia. I knew a dude in college so good at soccer that the entire other team literally went to the hospital due to exhaustion. That he spent the last 5 days counting to infinity. That he once almost drowned in his personal pool, but saved himself by drinking all the water.
What a giga Chad. Guys, remember this. If you're ever drowning, just drink all the water, forehead. It's so easy, though.
Worked temporarily for President's Secret Service, had telekinesis. Do you want to show us? Well, I don't feel like it right now. Had artificial gorilla blood and dated Chaka Khan. A girl in my 4th grade told everyone she could water bend, and every time it rained, she said it was because she was sad and couldn't control her powers yet.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Classmate's German grandfather created Pokemon during World War II. My friend Mitchell told me in elementary school his mom invented the round cookie. Before that, all cookies were square. A kid I went to school with said he invented the colour grey. That he fucked Trish Stratus so hard, she died last night.
I'm just really good at shagging now. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, don't pause here.
There was a girl in high
Man, I love that show. In-Betweeners, right? Oh, that's a good show, man.
school who would always come up with ridiculous lies to get attention. My favourite was that she owned a rare pair of hybrid Nike Reebok shoes called Nickbock.
The Nickbock, to be fair, I feel like you could find a Nickbock somewhere. You ever seen those bootleg stuff, like the Abibas tracksuit? I feel like you could find a hybrid, a Nickbock.
She was taking apart a PS3, a 360 and Wii, and combining them to make a Pee-wee 360.
That's so funny. That's another thing that I'm sure you might find it somewhere, you know, you might find it.
He was dead serious. A kid in my elementary school was bragging about having the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wow, how'd you have all those? Oh, my dad, he actually owns Sony, so... Oh, what, can I see a picture of him? 8? Bloody phone's broke, so, yeah, can't see pictures of him.
It's always like that, it's always like that.
Oh, that's a shame. Maybe I could come around your house and meet him. Yeah, no, because obviously... lives in another country.
Yeah.
Right, but I could find him on your Facebook, couldn't I? Because you'd have your surname. No. Had to change his last name. yeah, he had to, because they'd make it more pronounceable for the locals. Yeah. My dad had his arm bitten off by a shark, but luckily it grew back. His name was Kevin, and he told me he has a 30-inch dick.
Holy shit, Kevin!
So, this guy at my high school told everyone that he was a werewolf. His background story was that one night a werewolf broke into his house and bit him, causing him to transform. Me, being the arsehole that I am, went and tried to pry answers from him one day at lunch. He then went to the bathroom and tore his shirt and messed his hair up and came back out and said, just transformed in the bathroom because I was so pissed.
No way, bruh. Bruh, you could have just, you know, you didn't have to go this far, man.
She said that she was dating Prince William. Alex Ferguson called her up heavily stressed and asked for, "Need your advice on what to do with Man United." A guy in my class claimed he'd lost his virginity twice. That their
You never know, you never know.
grandpa killed Hitler. I immediately responded with, "Oh, so your grandpa was Hitler? I have the new Apple phone, do you?" "Nah, I've got a BlackBerry." "Well, I have a Blueberry." He once sleepwalked all the way across town. He lived with Bob Ross. His dad was the head of the military and tased himself to sleep every night. There was a kid when I was in 5th grade who showed up like a fucking whirlwind and told the most fantastic lies and then was gone the next semester. He told me lightsabers were real when his dad used to have one, but it was only strong enough to cut through bread. I knew a kid in elementary in the early 90s who said they knew George Lucas and his dad worked on Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And we all thought, yeah, it's full of shit. So for show and tell, he brought his dad in, who brought in a bunch of real screen use props and showed us a bunch of behind the scenes slides he'd taken, including multiple with him and Lucas. That showed us, I guess.
Yeah, that this can happen. Sometimes it's true, you know. You can usually tell when it's bullshit, you know.
Yes, I did the lie. I was in 2nd or 3rd grade and told my friends that I did Bart Simpson's laugh on The Simpsons. Not his voice, just the laugh. No one believed me. I said I scored a bunch of points in basketball because it bounced up and down through the hoop and each time it went back through it, it counted. I convinced a group of classmates in 1st grade that I could run faster than the speed of light by getting in the running start position, then quickly doing a 180 and facing the opposite direction. I claimed to have run to the end of the field and back.
Did you see that? Did you see how I went all the way?
I told people in middle school that I was born in Canada but had to be airlifted to a hospital in LA because of tax reasons. I didn't even know what the fuck taxes were then. Lol. I tried to convince my school back in year 5 or so that I created Smack That by Akon.
It's a good song. I'll give that to you. I like that song.
That I owned a Lambo and drive my Model GF around in it all the time, and we made the sex every day. How old were you? Like 8? I pretended to be from Saturn for several months. I even wore this light jacket during the hot season, claiming it was advanced technology that helped keep me cool.
No, bro, you went too far with it.
That I played Monopoly 10 times a day. I was 7. I don't know why I thought this would be credible or impressive, but I made the claim anyway. When I was in 2nd grade, I watched that James Bond movie where that guy gets shot in the head and loses his ability to feel pain. I tried to convince my classmates I had the same condition as him, which lasted about 2 seconds before some boy hit me and I started crying hysterically.
You know, I'm sorry. They wanted to see if it was real. Like, damn, that's cool then. You got caught, man. That was a bad one. I'm sorry.
I remember when Men in Black came out when I was in 2nd grade. I told a classmate that my dad owned one of those flash memory erasers. He asked if I could bring it to school, and I told him I already did and showed it to him once, right before erasing his memory of it.
Now, see? Now that's a good lie. Now that's a good lie.
Oh, this one's so stupid. All my friends had middle names and were discussing them with each other, and I, not having one, felt left out. So I decided to tell them, I've got a middle name. Gideon, which is a name my granddad used to call me because it's a name that sounds like giddy up because I used to gallop around on all fours like a horse. In elementary school, I told my teacher I went hunting with my uncle and shot a cardinal. It was our school bird and it led to my parents being called forced counselling and sensitivity classes. I told my kindergarten class that my dad was the drummer for Phil Collins. My teacher believed me and asked my dad to do a concert. Oh no. Hey, let's see quickly if you have any similar stories in the comments of my original 2021 video. For the entire 2nd grade, I claimed to be Luigi from Super Mario.
What?
One time, one of my old friends from first grade said they had to live in a new house because the sun fell on it. I remember making up a movie and asking all the class if they had watched it, and one kid said, yeah, and I auditioned for it. My dad owns every island. Well, like not every island, but most of them. I've been legally dead 11 times. I knew a girl in primary school who told everyone, get ready for the most pointless lie of the week. She had a photocopier in her bedroom. One kid gave me a doorknob and said it was part of a Five Nights at Freddy animatronic. Someone at my old school claimed to have invented the Uno reverse card. Skull emoji! Skull emoji! Skull emoji! Skull emoji! Oh, Sir Skull emoji! I once accidentally claimed my grandma invented breakfast burrito.
How did you accidentally claim that?
Accidentally, I was clumsy.
Yeah.
I still remember the guy who in kindergarten told me I'm secretly a vampire and I was adopted from Australia. Don't tell anyone, it's a secret. And then proceeded to individually pull every other student aside to say the same thing. In my art class, there was this one boy who tried to convince us that he was a time traveller and that he was one of the songwriters of You Spin Me Round. He also said that the song played when the Titanic sank.
And I can make you baby round, 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 round.
An old friend
That's such a good song, chat. I always sing that karaoke. So good, so good.
of me tried to convince me he was bread that was brought to life. He always got mad when I ate a sandwich. Ethan told me he had a 10-story limousine.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Carter claimed his room was a giant fidget spinner. I knew one kid in middle school that claimed that if you did a roll in a specific way, you could survive a fall from any height. He claimed to have leapt from the top of a lighthouse once, but came out just fine because he knew how to tuck and roll, I guess. Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought if your plane blew up in midair, you'd only need 2 broom handles, land with them pointing down, and they'd soak up all of the impact. And all you had to do was slide down them and be totally unharmed. Well, that might not be a lie. We don't know that doesn't work.
It doesn't work, guys. Do not try to do that.
Was a